guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been wanting to do a little bit of a cook with me. I want to do a few of my keto recipes with you guys. I just feel that there's a lot of people who have families who are keto and aren't keto, and it's nice to see the different meals that you can make to accommodate both. I've prepared a meal tonight and this is what it looks like. To see how that came about, carry on watching. We're going to begin by prepping the vegetables. I am going to peel some potatoes. Because there's only the 2 kids and my husband are not on keto, I'm going to do 2 potatoes. That should be more than enough for them. Once the potatoes are peeled, you are going to slice them into thin slices. I have halved them and then sliced them. This is just a lot easier for me because they don't then move around while I'm slicing them. Once they are sliced, you're going to put them in some water with some salt, and you're only going to boil them until they're almost soft but not too mushy. The onion, you're going to cut the sides off. Remove the outer side, the outer layer. I normally do this by just cutting down through the middle and then removing from either sides. It just makes it easier for me, but we all have our way of doing things. So now we're going to slice the onions into little cubes. Once that's done, I'm just going to put it in a bowl. And I'm just going to put some Cajun seasoning over the onion and just mix it in a little. This is just to add a little bit of flavor. Not too much. Okay, so now I'm going to grate some cheese. It does use quite a lot of cheese. You need to at least have 2 cups of cheese. Now, in the normal recipe, we would actually use 1 cup of mozzarella and 1 cup of cheddar. I'm just going to use the cheddar. So I take some tin foil. Now because I'm doing 2 batches that are different, I've just made a little bit of an insert in the middle just to be able to split them. I don't have 2 pans that are small enough to do 2. I only have 1, so this way will work. So now what you do is you crack your eggs. I'm using 2 eggs into a bowl. And I'm going to whisk those up. Then I'm going to add some salt, add some pepper, then you're going to add all your cheese into those eggs. I think I've got a little bit more than 2 cups of cheese in here, but I am making a little bit of a bigger batch. Now I'm going to add the onions. And I'm going to mix that up again just to make sure the onion is in everywhere, because we are going to split this batch into 2. You can see my potato in this side here. I'm now going to put some of this cheese over, and on the other side as well, without potato. I think these trays are a little bit too wide. They could be a bit more, a bit smaller, so this is not going to really be as thick as it should be, but it's still tasty. I'm sure it'll work out fine. I'm just going to smooth it all out so that it's everywhere. And then you're going to go place it in the oven at between 180 and 200 degrees. There you can see it's in the oven. I started it on 180 degrees and I'm going to turn it up to 200. Now that we've got that going, I'm going to do these marinated butterflied pork. So I'm going to put some olive oil into my pan and get the heat going on there so long. I'm going to cut open my pork. These are very nice because the spices that are in here are actually very keto friendly, so it's actually great. Works out well. I actually really love buying these packs of meat with flavoring in it because it really makes it a lot easier when it comes to cooking. Check my heat is high enough. And then I'm going to add in my butterflied pork. These are really thick pieces, and pork you do want to cook very well. So I am going to put the lid on when I'm cooking this because I want it to cook through properly. I don't mess around with pork or chicken, but this is pork. These are big pieces, chunky pieces, so I'm just going to turn them around so that they can now brown on the other side. And I'm going to put the lid back on just so that it can cook a little bit through. Okay, so I took the pork out and I diced them up into slices, and I've just been frying them again, but I added some butter just to give it a bit more flavor. On the keto diet, the more fat you get in, the better. So I'm just mixing this around a little bit in some butter and frying it up to make it all nice and juicy. So this is the cheese recipe that I just showed you guys. So it's almost like a bread, but it's not a bread, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take one out for you and just show you. They're not as thick as they should be. They should be a lot thicker. But because I split the batch up, it has made it a bit thinner, and I've used the wrong dishes for this. So what I normally do is I portion it. I will make my little marks as to where I want to cut it. Bearing in mind that this is a very rich dish, you don't want to have too much of it. You actually just want to have a small piece. If you feel you want more later, you can, but it's very rich. So that's what it looks like, guys. I've taken it out. You can see it's very tasty. I have to say, you guys need to try this, but maybe I will link the proper recipe below for you guys. But that's what it looks like. I know there's no color on this plate. It's very bland, but this was an awesome meal. We thoroughly enjoyed it. You guys have to give it a try. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little cook with me. I know it wasn't the most extravagant meal, but you know what? It tasted absolutely awesome. If you guys haven't tried those butterflied chickens, you must definitely give them a go. What's nice is the flavoring inside is all keto friendly, so I love that, and I don't have to spice it. I literally cut the bag open and cook, and I'm telling you, it is mouth-wateringly tender. That pork is so soft and nice to eat. The cheese that I made was very yummy, although it didn't look great, I'm sure, to you guys, but you have to give it a try. I tended to make it more of a potato bakey style for husband and the kids, and for Malky and I it was more like a cheesy egg dish to substitute, almost like a bread. But guys, it's yum. I'm going to link a YouTube video down below to the person who actually put me onto this recipe so that she gets the recognition for it. I didn't come up with this recipe myself, and she has the proper recipe. I have altered mine slightly. So if you guys want to go and check her out, I'm going to link that below. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys!